What I'm about to tell you, most men never truly understand. And most women will never openly admit. This isn't something you learn in school. Not from your friends. Not even from your past relationships. But once you understand this hidden truth, you'll start seeing things differently. So listen carefully. There's a side of female psychology that stays hidden behind smiles, replies, and emotions. A silent pattern that controls attraction, attention, and even distance. And the truth is, it's happening right in front of you, every single day, but you don't notice it. Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for how you make them feel. You can say all the right words, send long messages, try your best to impress, and still get ignored. Meanwhile, someone else who says less, does less, and tries less, becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. Why? Because attraction is not logical. It's emotional. A woman might forget your exact words, but she will always remember the feeling she had when she was around you. That feeling is everything. Most men make one critical mistake. They believe that giving more attention, more time, and more effort will automatically increase attraction. But the opposite often happens. The more available you become, the less interesting you seem. The more you chase, the less she values your presence. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you appear. And without realizing it, you slowly push her away. Not because she's a bad person, but because human psychology works differently than what you expect. There's one emotion that silently controls everything. Curiosity. When a woman becomes curious about you, she starts thinking about you. When she starts thinking about you, she builds emotional connection. And when that connection forms, attraction grows naturally. But curiosity doesn't come from being predictable. It comes from mystery. If she already knows everything about you, if you reply instantly every time, if you always agree, always available, always there, then there's nothing left to discover. And without discovery, interest fades. This is why many nice guys struggle. Not because being nice is wrong, but because being too predictable removes excitement. There's no challenge. No tension. No emotional movement. And attraction needs movement. Think about it. Why do people get addicted to stories, movies, or even songs? Because they create emotion. They create ups and downs. They create anticipation. The same applies here. If your presence feels the same every time, it becomes normal. And what becomes normal becomes boring. Now here's something deeper. Women are highly sensitive to emotional energy. They can sense confidence without you saying a word. They can feel insecurity even if you try to hide it. If you constantly seek validation, it shows. If you fear losing her, it shows. If you depend on her attention, it shows. And that energy slowly kills attraction. But when you are calm, focused, and not desperate for attention, something changes. You become intriguing. Not because you're playing games, but because you're not trying to force anything. And that's rare. Most people try too hard. They try to impress, to prove, to chase, and in that process, they lose their natural self. But the truth is, attraction grows strongest in space. Not distance that creates disconnection, but space that creates thought. When she has time to think about you, to wonder about you, to miss you, that's when emotions deepen. If you are always there, always available, always replying, you remove that space. And without space, there is no emotional build-up. Now understand this clearly. This is not about ignoring someone or acting cold. It's about having balance. It's about having your own life, your own focus, your own purpose. Because when your world doesn't revolve around her, she starts noticing you more. People value what feels slightly out of reach. Not impossible, just not easily available. That small difference creates attraction. Another hidden truth is emotional contrast. If everything is always positive, always smooth, always the same, it loses impact. But when there are small shifts, moments of humor, silence, depth, lightness, it creates a dynamic experience. And that's what people remember. Not perfection, but emotion. Here's something most people ignore. Attraction is not built in big moments. It's built in small details. The way you respond. The way you pause. The way you carry yourself. The way you don't react to everything. All of these things send signals. And those signals are felt more than they are understood. That's why sometimes someone can't even explain why they like a person. They just feel it. Now think about your own behavior. Are you trying too hard to be liked? Are you always available? Are you constantly seeking a response? If yes, then you're removing the very thing that creates attraction.